didn't immediately start dropping frames. Cool. Sweet.
Yay!
Opa!
Let's see.
And welcome to.
Welcome
Okay, I
to.
think we're live again.
Let's wait and see if we're live. What's that base for?
Yeah,
How
I think
is this
we're live.
ad? I
What?
keep seeing
It's a
D20.
lie.
It's a Coke Zero gaming ad where they keep referencing a D20. That's weird.
That's pandering.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. Here at Nerd House Tabletop. We're here for that
All right.
pandering.
So we were talking about Gouda.
No, we were starting the fucking game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Decisions of Dragon. The dance forever will continue to change and mutate until there's nothing recognizable about it. When
Should make a
last we
compilation.
left, Ugh, don't give Sam ideas.
I'm giving the chat
Yeah,
ideas.
having the day from hell, and she'd be like, "Hey, guess what?" And then she's gonna send me a compilation video that she made. Ugh. Anyway, when last we left off, our intrepid heroes found themselves joining a small party in an underground arena attached to Quincy's Tavern. They schmoozed with some of the patrons. They ran into Jericho, who decided to join their team after admitting that he may have dropped the ball on letting Thurston's family know that he was safe. But you all decided to take part in a little arena battle against the Final Four, which was the saddest display of an opposing team ever. Pretty much from the get-go, it was written on the wall. It was not happening. I was really hoping that 5th level fireball would have happened, but then I was reminded of the effects of slow. But Faraday decided to taunt the arena master, saying, "This is the best you got." To which the arena master halted combat with a mass hold person, took the Final Four out of the arena, having very clearly been outclassed, and instead opened a gate where you fought a fucking crystal dragon. And it was an intense battle with its breath attack, which was releasing sonic waves. Your friend Thurston fell unconscious and noticed something odd as his form seemed to shift to that of a life-size clay doll. After he was revived, you continued the battle. You managed to best the dragon, but Thurston had dimension doored out of the arena, visibly upset. You finished the battle. The dragon bowed to Faraday and returned to its cage, glaring at its master the entire way. The crowd is cheering and raucous around you, but Arathea did point out that there was something odd about what happened with Thurston, and you do not know where he is at this moment. So, what do you do?
I'm still
Arthea
flying.
turned tail immediately and went out that exit.
I'm still flying in the air. Can I go up a little higher and see if I can see where Thurston is at?
Go ahead and make me a perception check. Now, if I recall, Thurston just was back at the bar area, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's not fuck me this time. Natural 20. So
Jesus.
26.
Not only do you see Thurston, but you know his blood type. You know he has a small imperfection in his right eye. Yes, you spot him over by the bar, looking very distressed. While I'm sure trying not to look hard.
Is the top of the arena that we're in open, or can I fly out?
Yeah, you
Of
can
it.
fly out. That's fine.
I fly out of it and I give Thurston a very pointed look, but I don't approach him, so I don't call attention to him since Delirium still has my wings out.
Nope.
And I just I go to where the door is and just kind of land and stop and wait for him to see if he comes over.
Okay. Arathea, you're making your way up as you
Yeah,
do. Actually,
I don't know where that exit actually leads. I just know it was the only one from the arena.
it does lead up to the walkway, that leads towards the arena. Faraday and Dermot, what are you guys doing?
Faraday, so we're still in the arena. Is Jericho still in the arena?
Yes, he is.
Faraday immediately, like, seeing that the others have kind of left, but still, like, she's not quite grasping the situation at this point, and elated at the fact that they fought a fucking dragon and won. She, like, launches herself at Jericho and, like, in just elated, like, happy scream, and just starts babbling about, like, I've never met another Bloodhunter before out here, and just immediately, like, almost like a little kid, just, like, immediately just spouts, like, a billion questions about, like, where did you study? How did you do that? What do you, you know, what is that thing? You know, just, like, a million questions, and I can't imagine that he keeps up with it.
Jericho just stares and kind of has a smirk on his face. May I answer you?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
While this is happening, I'm just kind of like trying to usher the two of them out of the arena.
Question, Dermot. Are you trying to usher the two of them out while standing in between them?
No.
Okay. Dermot, make an insight check. He goes on to explain very briefly. Basically, you just get a note that he picked up the art in Wildmount. That there is a small group of blood hunters out there that he learned his skills from, specifically mutagen crafting, the little jars of gross. But at that point, like right when he finishes that, the door opens and you are met with just a crowd of people who are like, yeah, all excitedly cheering for the victors. Dustin, what'd you get?
13.
13. You're kind of picking up interesting vibe off of Jericho as he's talking with Faraday.
Okay.
You can't quite pinpoint it.
I am not immediately concerned by that.
Okay.
I am concerned by it, but it is not an immediate priority.
Gotcha. Arathea will say that you're a little bit further ahead as everyone's like, that was amazing, that was so cool. Even when you were beating the final four, that was great. Oh my god, I can't believe it. You're just like pushing through.
Yeah, no. Crowd very very overwhelming, but probably would be worse if she wasn't so focused on figuring out where Thurston went and finding him and
Sure.
figuring out what to do about this situation, since she was close enough to the crowd to hear that others also saw this.
Mhm.
This was not something that was, visible to only those down in the arena, and she might not know very much about nobility and high society, but she's gotten the sense that people shit talk a lot, and that could probably be bad.
Okay.
Also, she's scared of his mother.
I mean,
We'll
aren't
say
we
at this
all?
point, you guys are like a few steps away before Grim. God, I keep forgetting his goddamn name. Grimthorn?
Yes,
I
Grimthorn.
think so, yeah.
Grimthorn. Grimthorn kind of steps in front of you guys. That was amazing. Everything that we wanted it to be. Congratulations, heroes. Still need to get you. No, it was Fiona's 5, right? He's pointing right at Dermot. Fantastic work.
Yes, that's correct.
He holds a flask and says, to the Fiona's 5! And everyone's like, bah! Just starts drinking. You still like have people around you that are like trying to like know more about you guys, but I already forgot the prize money. Did he say what the prize money was going to be?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I don't think Faraday really cared.
Okay.
Like prize is great, but like at this point, like the headspace she's in, she just wanted to fight. She just wanted no
That's fair.
consequence fight. She didn't get a no consequence fight, but she wanted a no consequence fight.
How crowded? Like, how deep is the crowd around us?
It's about like 5 or 6 people deep.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of people that came to see this, and all of them are like head over heels wanting to know every single thing about all of you guys.
Can I Misty step to the other side of them and keep
Totally.
heading out?
Sure.
All right. We don't need spell slots. Why would we need those?
While that is happening, Grimthorn actually takes Faraday's hand and says, "Congratulations, champ," and then puts a coin purse that's heavy in your hand. So the Fiona's 5, he says as he continues to walk towards the bar.
I'll pocket it for now.
Okay.
Hi.
And Court, you were going to ask something.
I was going to say, if Arthea gets to the door where Cadriel's standing, she'll follow her out.
Okay. Now,
She'll stand behind Kat and let her go in front.
Thurston.
Kind of like moving through the con floor.
What is Thurston Nollard doing?
Thurston is sitting at the bar. Not really he wasn't really paying attention to the fight towards the end. He hears the cheering and whatnot, and he acknowledges, like, okay, they're fine, everything ended fine, that's great. But he's mostly just kind of sitting in silence, like, staring off into space. But as you can hear, like, as the crowd starts to move closer, because everybody in his party is starting to come closer, he just gestures to the bartender and asks for a shot.
Yeah, fill it right up. Pours a shot of whiskey and just puts it across the bar.
He didn't ask what it was. He didn't state what he wanted. He just, and he just, no questions, downs it. And it is just kind of sitting there waiting for the fallout.
At this point, everybody has sort of made their way to the bar area. Arthea and Court, are you guys just beelining to get the hell out of there? Or are you guys grabbing Thurston? Like, what is the general consensus of what's happening here?
I'm waiting to see what Arthea does, and I will follow her lead, knowing that she didn't want to get into the fight in the first place, and that I goaded her into it, along with Thurston.
And we see Thurston at the bar.
Kind of. Yeah, he's not really making any attempt to hide, so he's pretty obvious.
I think Arthea will go up to the bar. Is there space somewhere next to Thurston on either side?
Yeah, actually. When Thurston dimension doored to the bar, it was basically empty because everybody was watching the fight. The only people who were there were Quincy and the 2 other bartenders that were there. And they were just kind of like cleaning up.
Then I think she'll make her way over to the bar and kind of just look over. She's not going to say anything to him, but she's not sure what to say at the moment. But flag down the bartender, and once she gets his attention, I think she'll just ask for, I'll have one of whatever he's had.
Sure. All right. He grabs the same bottle of whiskey.
As we're making our way over there, I'm going to try and make a big show of it. But I am going to call to Thurston and just say, hey, how the hell did you think to, replace yourself with some kind of doll and dimension door away before that last hit came? That looked like it was gonna hurt if you hadn't acted so fast. Do you want me to roll some kind of deception? Like, I'm essentially trying to deceive the crowd to reinforce an incorrect recollection of events.
I will say, given that Dermot doesn't know the exact details, I will say instead of deception, I will say a persuasion check. Because as far as you know, I mean, you know that something's up, but you're essentially going with a logical explanation for what you saw.
Okay.
I would say that the prior knowledge is what's determining whether it's deception or persuasion.
That is a 19.
19. Okay. With a 19, you spread the tail.
I'm trying to rewrite the narrative while the event is still fresh in everyone's mind.
Yeah. And you can definitely hear some of the people go, is that, I thought something was weird, but I guess I just misunderstood. I just thought he was a noble dude. I didn't realize he was that smart or that powerful.
Oh,
And like some other people are like, yeah, no, that was actually really smart to get out of there, get out of Dodge. I mean, kind of would like to see more of him, but that's all good. But yeah, you feel satisfied that you have spread the tail, and people are coming up, and now like you guys are at the bar. Now some of the people are starting to like walk up and say, like, Thurston, you do hear a, "Hey, nice job, Thurston. That was awesome."
Yeah, the key to it that I'm trying to establish is that Thurston didn't actually take that hit. Whether it was, replacing himself with an illusion, or whether or not we want to become famous and buy followers, or
I'm fixing it. Shut up.
What?
I have the stream chat open.
Gotcha.
But yeah, whether or not it's Thurston replacing his space with an illusion or some kind of dummy, the point is that Thurston got out, and whatever got hit wasn't Thurston.
Gotcha. You feel pretty satisfied that you have convinced the majority of the crowd, at least the ones that you've interacted with, that was the case.
I rolled an insight check for Faraday. Yeah, she rolled an
Mhm.
8. She fucking buys that. She only saw Thurston for like a split second anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That like as she's hearing not only Dermot say it, because like I feel like she hears his voice in like the crowd. Like, you hear a familiar voice in a crowd and it picks up and you immediately can tell who it is and where they are.
Mm.
She listens to him and then she hears it kind of ripple from there, and she's like, yeah, that's absolutely what happened. Like, and like inadvertently passing it along and encouraging it, but that is absolutely like what she thinks happened.
Nice.
Because I rolled
I
like
like
shit.
Faraday.
I don't know what to tell you
Nice.
guys. Spring
I will
Faraday,
follow-
not the brains of the operation.
I will follow Arthea to the bar and sit on the other side of Thurston. And then I asked the bartender, I think we can probably use 3 more of those.
Damn, I have to get another bottle. Hold on. You see the half-orc bartender like goes around into a back room and comes out with 2 more bottles of whiskey and just goes, just in case. Puts one kind of behind and pours 3 more shots, and then points to Dermot and Faraday and Jericho. Huh? You too?
Celebration drink, absolutely.
I'll just put like a gold or 2 on the counter and just say leave the bottle.
You got it. Places it down. Jericho says, actually, as fun as this was, I'm turning into a pumpkin. I gotta get out of here.
Seriously?
Yeah.
We
Hey,
just
you
won
know what?
against a
That was
dragon!
Hey, it was awesome. And it'll really be a great story when I tell the people back home. But this is your victory. I was just sort of support.
You're lame.
Yeah, kind of. Hey, if you ever
Fine.
find yourself in Wildmount, look us up.
Maybe I will.
Or
I
maybe
will,
around here if we bump into each other again for whatever reason.
I raise a glass in Jericho's direction and say, pumpkins are the absolute worst.
What he said.
He holds his arm out for one of those warrior handshakes,
Yeah, she reciprocates.
and
Yeah.
as you do, he kind of pulls in and just says, "Don't think I forgot about our one-on-one that's going to happen one time."
Oh, don't worry. It'll happen.
And he gives everybody one of those little mini salutes and starts to head out. And I'll say, Arathea, with your passive perception of a million, do see him. You do see him do one of those like over the shoulder, like look backs at Faraday before he makes his way back up the stairs.
She does the, catches him looking back and then kind of looks to him, Faraday.
All right. You are all at the bar. You've got your bottle.
As soon as like more people were at the bar, probably around the time that Cad had like gotten there, Thurston had just taken a really deep breath, and then like he had kind of been just kind of sitting very casually. I mean, kind of went into he's sitting up straight. He's got a very neutral, noble expression on his face, just back into that I'm just this nobleman that's here, kind of putting that air out into the world. And if
Sounds
anybody
good.
acknowledges him, like, and says like congratulations, he just gives that like very stately nod. That's about it.
You actually do get approached by Elric Widward and Lord Algar Brothric. And Elric says, "That was amazing. I didn't realize that you could use so much magic. I'm just to be honest, I may have fallen asleep or passed out at some point. But that's okay. Algar saw you regaled me with the tale. And it was awesome. It sounds super cool. You see he's red in the face. You're definitely getting some like ale smell off of him." And Algar says, sorry, Elric. That was impressive. Well fought.
Thank you.
I'll have to take some more notes on how to fight dragons. I wasn't expecting that. As we agreed, nobody knows I'm here if nobody knows you're here. Wonderful. And Elric, I think we should get you home. Nice, thank you. And Algar kind of like does the arm around the shoulder. Have a good night, everyone. And they
As well.
make their way out.
Cadriel doesn't look at Thurston, but she's like drinking her whiskey because whiskey. And she just kind of looks down at the glass and says, "We can get out of here if you don't want to stay."
I think that if I never see this building again, it would be too soon.
And let's go. And I get up and wait for him and say, "Arathea, are you coming?"
She's going to turn to the bartender and ask how much for the bottle.
Oh, that gold covered it.
Oh, shit.
I grab the bottle.
Yeah, you're good.
Where to?
Home.
Home it is.
No. Start walking out.
As you guys are walking out, you make your way up the spiral staircase. It's just as you see a lot of the crowd like, oh, as you guys start to leave, but they eventually get over it. You guys go up and up and up the spiral staircase. You walk through the hidden entryway back into Quincy's Tavern. You see Quincy behind the bar. They are actually just about to feast on a big brownie that they made, just as the door opens. Oh, hello. Leaving so soon?
Yes, well, unfortunately, I wouldn't want my mother to know where I was, so I should probably get back.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is my personal little reward for you. And you see they turn and pull a very nice bottle of wine. Like, Thurston, you've wanted to get a connection with the winemakers for years. Places it down in front of you guys at the bar. My treat. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that we will save this for a special occasion.
Wonderful. Well, if you ever fancy a tale or decent food, come on by.
Thank you.
You then make your way out onto the city streets. Just curious, does anybody talk while you're walking or no?
Oh my god, Faraday won't shut the fuck up.
Um,
She was a little disappointed at first at leaving, but was like, okay, I guess, like, let's not overstay our welcome. And, like, Sabelina is still scary, so, like, you know,
Even
she
Spring
was like,
Faraday recognizes this?
even Spring Faraday recognizes it. So, like, she was like, oh, but, and then she was like, okay, fine, if everyone else is leaving, you know, all right, and, like,
Said like you could stay. You don't have to come with us.
and she's like, no,
If she wanted
no,
to stay.
no, it won't be fun without you guys. Besides, we have to, you know, leave tomorrow. We can't stay out too late. And, like, as we are leaving, she's, like, literally, like, just, like, bouncing around. Like, just, like, oh my god, could you believe it? That thing was crazy! I've never seen a dragon, like, literally just, like, the total opposite of Thurston. Totally oblivious. Thurston, I am sorry you are not with Winter Faraday because this is so not what I want her to be acting like. But she's just so
question?
oblivious and just thrilled.
DM question: when the lyrium rolls off, do I have to roll anything, or do I get exhaustion or anything like that?
I believe it was one level of exhaustion.
Tight.
But yeah, you just feel your wings slowly return and start to dissipate. And then just as they're sort of lowering, you feel your shoulders just get heavy. Oh, we can't hear you.
Are they no? I don't know what's going on with my mic tonight. I just glance back where the wings are no longer there and just kind of don't say anything.
um,
Oh, good.
like Faraday, like, and kind of bouncing off of Faraday's energy, I am also just, 100 miles a minute,
They're the worst.
talking about the fight and how cool it was, and you slayed a dragon. He didn't
I slayed a
actually die.
dragon!
I still can't, but it still counts. And actually, as I'm like trying to hold Faraday's attention, I am going to try and slow our pace a little bit, just the two of us.
Okay.
To try and put a gap between the two of us and the rest of the group.
Okay. I'll say it does take a couple of minutes,
That's fair.
but eventually you do have that gap.
Okay. I don't do anything else until we're like at the edge of the estate.
Okay. I'll say you guys weirdly focused and determined make your way to the gates of the Nallard estate. Darren.
I asked Faraday to hang back while everybody else goes inside.
She does. But we were gonna drink, but okay.
I just glance at the two of them and walk in across the grounds of the estate and head for the house.
Thurston's not. He's. Yep, going home. Going home.
Once we are sufficiently alone and out of earshot of the rest of the group, I just lean in close to Faraday and say, we need to leave.
She kind of stops bouncing. What do you mean? We're leaving. We're leaving for Amon tomorrow.
Did you see what Thurston did?
Yeah?
Thurston took that hit and then teleported away.
No, you said that you said that was, no, the other way
I know.
around.
I know what I said. There's only one other place I've ever seen or heard of a creature with that kind of ability.
What are you talking
Home.
about? What do you mean? You think Thurston's from the Feywild?
I think that given recent events and recent communications, and I kind of hold our new amulet up from around my neck, I may not be entirely convinced that this is enough.
Wait. You think Thurston's I kind of like, she looks around for a moment, making sure that, like, the street is clear. You think he's a...
Make me a perception check.
Oh, I get advantage. Hey, there we go, nat 20. Much better. It's 24.
Glancing around, you do see, given that it is evening, like you guys are approaching 10 or 11 o'clock, you do see a couple of people meandering on the street. You look back behind you, and for a second you do think you see something. But it was like a shadow that just quickly dodged out of sight.
Is it really so hard to believe?
I mean,
He
yeah,
knew where we were well enough to talk to us.
yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. It seems kind of... You think Thurston's spying on us? That seems silly.
I think that Novus has eyes and ears in places that we may not expect.
I don't know. I just wanted one night not thinking about them.
So did I.
I don't want to leave.
Well, we'll just have to find another dragon then. I'm sure there's one out there who would be more than willing to spar with us.
You should at least talk to them first. With these on, and she touches the amulet. It can't hurt to ask, right? Worst case, we run. We leave. If we don't like the answer he gives. Do you think Kat and Arathea are spies too?
I have no idea.
We should ask. Should figure something out first. That's not fair. Thurston's got a whole family here. We've met all of them. We've been living in their house for a month. Do you think Novus could make all of that up here? I mean, I guess they could.
You knew him longer than I did.
I think we should ask. Before we leave. If anything is suspicious, or anything, if it doesn't feel right, we'll leave. but it's not fair. We shouldn't have dragged him into the arena. He didn't. We shouldn't have dragged him into the arena, I guess.
You didn't drag anybody into the arena.
No, but I dragged all of you there. I really wanted to go.
I think you. I put a hand on her shoulder and say, I think you overestimate your manipulative powers.
Yeah, that's not really my forte. I'm not the greatest fae.
You know that I would go anywhere to watch you fight just for the fun of it, whether you asked me to or not.
Let's just see, okay? I
Okay.
don't want to just leave.
We watch each other's backs, right?
Right. And she'll lean
Right.
down and she'll kiss the top of one of his horns and then bound away.
You start bounding away, and behind you, you hear a little tune played on a pan flute.
Right. What are the rest of you doing? So the rest of you, while this conversation is happening, you make your way inside. Jules is actually just walking the hallways, and he's putting out some of the candles just as he turns and, oh, welcome back.
Thank you.
Is everything all right?
Of course. It's just been a long day. I think that I'll retire.
All right. Breakfast will be in the morning. So he continues putting out the candles as he walks through the hall. Where do you guys go?
I will linger at the doorway to my room. Okay, where's Thurston's room in conjunction with ours?
So it's gonna be on the second floor. Your room is across the hall, or across the hall and over one.
Okay.
So it's relatively close by.
I wait till Jules is fucked off. And I go to
Rude.
I go to Thurston's room and I just knock on the door.
You go to knock on the door and it actually opens because he knew this was happening and didn't even close it all the way behind him.
I close it all the way behind me. And
I try to catch it before it closes. Wait.
push her out of the way. No, I said you
really
push
want
her.
to do that right now?
I said you push her out of the way with the door. Calm yourself down, damn sassy Arathea.
She's not happy with some of you people.
Cadriel
right now.
steps aside if Arathea's behind her, and she just, once they close the door, she just says, I'm really sorry I goaded you into the fight tonight, Thurston.
Well, I appreciate that, but I am a grown man and I did ultimately make my own decision. So I can't blame anyone else.
If you ever want to talk about it, it's up to you. I won't ask you to if you don't want to.
Well, I guess I appreciate that as well. And he just kind of sits down at his desk and just kind of puts his head in his hands. You've never seen him not be able to finish a sentence. He's always been able to articulate himself, and he just sits down and brain shuts down on processing more words.
I think Arathea brought the whiskey.
I did bring the whiskey. She'll just pull it out of her
So he goes from this
coat,
to
actually, which is Cat's coat. Think of it.
Oh yeah, you are wearing a coat.
Pulls it out of you. She probably has a shot glass too. She probably grabbed one of those like as she was leaving.
Like in Vegas, she just walked out with her glass.
It's like you take the shot, but like you don't. Then you just get
Don't hand it
sidetracked.
back.
And just,
Yep.
yeah. Or is that maybe
I'll
that's
hand-
just a me thing?
I'll like take the bottle and just like, assembly line pass it down to Thurston.
I mean, we could just drink out of the bottle.
that's fine. And he just
It's gonna be one of these nights.
yeah. No those fancy noble rules and regulations and etiquette. Just
Is he sitting? So he's sitting behind the desk. Posture, not so much.
no, like he's
Like,
literally just
totally
hunched
just-
over like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Until he sat up enough to drink. But like, yeah, it's not the because even when he's like relaxing with you guys, he still probably sits up straighter than everybody else. Like he sticks out like a sore thumb, even when he's trying to like relax with you guys while traveling. But this is just completely like all of those usual etiquettes that in rule nope, just hunched over, drinking out the bottle, like his hair is probably now slightly messed up because he keeps like putting his head like this or like messing with it. Like he looks the most sloppy you have ever seen him.
Thurston.
It's kind of endearing. Honestly. Aw.
I just have to I guess hope that that everyone believes Dermot and whatever he was trying to say. I don't even fully understand what he was saying,
That
but
with the way everybody was drinking, I think that we're pretty safe for now. And if not, I'm sure that we can come up with something. We are away a lot. Perhaps your mother hired us to rescue her son that had been kidnapped and replaced with somebody else. I don't know. That's just...
that would imply that my mother ever finds out that you know anything, which would be very bad. Just
I don't
bad.
know anything. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I suppose that's technically true.
Say at this point, Dermot and Faraday sort of meander up the stairs towards the room.
Oh,
and
there's-
we'll
there's-
say that the doors like open a crack or something. I don't know. Basically, you're all in one room.
There's no meandering. Faraday, like the bounding bit, like they hit the threshold of the front door, and like she just like bolts up the stairs, seeing that the door is open. And
Like, warning.
Yeah,
yeah, you
Just
guys
look
did
at
forget a
Thurston.
warning. The stealth
look-
is so not there.
Yeah,
You
just
do-
look at Thurston and say, you might want to take another drink of that.
You just as you bolt up the stairs, you bolt past Jules, who is just about to put a candle out, and then the wind that you cause puts it on. God, that's so kinky.
I mean, it's not like we burst into the room like unannounced. You hear the panpipes as we come up the stairs.
It's like a fucking parade.
Jesus.
Like really. Yeah, she comes barreling in and like so you're sitting at your desk? Immediately just like beelines it for the desk, and instead of sitting on your desk like she has been for the past couple weeks, she plants her hands on it and just like leans in and like gets real close and just stares like right in your face. and I don't want to roll an insight check, but she's basically doing an insight check without like any sort of basis for anything in any sort of scientific or magical means.
I'll
Can I
say
poke her?
make an
I'm just-
insight check with disadvantage because you
Okay.
can't read movements when he's staring at you wide-eyed.
Can I like poke Faraday while she's doing this?
Sure.
I mean, I rolled a 12,
I will.
which is not awful.
What's that?
If Cad like makes a move like towards Faraday, I'll go and put a hand on their shoulder, like to stop you.
I just look at Dermot and I just say, you guys need to just stop, tone it down. This is not the time for celebration. What happened
Not-
tonight wasn't okay.
I'm not celebrating. I'm looking.
I will just whisper in Cad's ear. It depends what you're celebrating.
I'm not celebrating any of this.
Kuja, what do I get with a 12?
You get the surface emotions, which is confusion,
Yeah, that's fair.
a desire for personal space to return, that the whiskey's lingering on your breath. I don't know, just a couple things off the top of my head, but you
Okay,
do get.
yeah.
I'll say you get something like uneasy.
She's really just looking for like any sort of like, okay, I caught you off guard. Any sort of like flash again, so not based in any sort of like scientific or any sort of intelligence based anything. But she's looking for like any sort of like flash of the eyes, any sort of like, oh, I caught you off guard. Now did that startle you into changing into anything? She only gives it about like it's just long enough to just be like really uncomfortable, like, and then eventually, like right before, I imagine Thurston's like, all right, this is our life now.
Long
Like
enough
this.
to be uncomfortable was in the first second of it happening.
she kind of nods and goes, and she looks at Dermot and she goes, I don't think so. And just like wanders away and like sits down on the floor in front of one of the chairs. I can't
What the
explain her.
hell is
She's
going
like
on?
fucking, I don't know.
I imagine
Guys.
this is like the idea of like, are you a cop? If you're a cop, you have
You
to
have
tell
to
me.
tell
I mean,
That's
that is kind of exactly
That's
what's
kind of
happening.
exactly what's happening. That's kind of exactly what's happening. If you're a Fae, you have to tell me. It's a secret thing. It's a thing that Fae have to do. Although she's not Fae, which makes it even funnier. Technically, she's not Fae.
What are you doing?
She kind of shrugs and looks at Dermot.
Well, Thurston,
Mm-hmm.
have anything to share with the class?
I have something that could be shared, sure. And he kind of stands up and he goes to the door that separates like the rest of his bedroom from his office study area, and he just closes that just in case. He says, I've never actually said it out loud before. And he kind of like stops as he realizes that I'm
Oh, microphone being weird.
oh sorry.
No, you're good.
I must have like half hit the button, just enough. I don't know entirely how to explain it. I don't know how I have the ability to do what you saw. I don't always have to look like this. In theory, I could look like just about anything. It's something I've always been able to do, and it's the reason that I was brought here as a child.
Brought here?
The person that was born, Thurston Nollard, died at the age of 4 from the same illness that took his father. It meant that there was no Lord Nollard, nor was there an heir, and that my mom, well, I guess Lady Siblina, had 3 small children, but no access to any of the assets or money for the family, which meant they would have been penniless and homeless. And she found me, and I guess I was a young orphan child that had the ability to look like anyone and anything, including a recently deceased noble heir. And so the Nollard fortune and estate was able to be kept intact.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
7.
Thurston is not giving you any indications that he is lying.
Does anyone besides your mother know about this?
Well, my sisters and Jules.
Hmm.
But that's all. Until tonight. Until tonight. I mean, if anybody else knew, if it got out, it would mean that the family would lose the estate. I mean, if they knew that there wasn't actually a Nollard heir, no, nobody else knows. It would mean the end of the line, as well as complete and utter shame for those that remain in the family.
Do you remember what your name was?
I think so. I just remember the name Ock. I don't know if it was mine anymore. I remember hearing it, though.
Can I make some kind of either history, religion, arcana, some kind of knowledge to see if I recognize that name or even like the
Term.
the term or the cultural roots of that name?
I'll say make a history check.
19.
That you know of, and this is like one of those in passing moments, most likely from you playing at a bar, just listening in on the conversations. A lot of these simple names like that,
Mm-hmm.
you've heard a lot of them be referenced to Wildmount, but you've also heard them from a couple other places across Exandria. So
Okay.
it's not like you have a central location, but for some reason Wildmount kind of comes to mind.
But it doesn't seem to be, so it does seem to be a name.
Yeah.
But not necessarily a human name as opposed to a dwarven name or elvish name.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Where were you before? Where were you before? Before you came here? Do you remember? I mean, you would have been really small.
Yeah, not really. I remember it seemed like we were never in the same place. I remember a lot of different faces, a lot of different sights, but nothing concrete.
Nothing permanent.
Yeah, nothing permanent until here.
Is it
Um,
hard to like put on a face?
Um, I mean, this might sound weird, but at this point, this is the only way I know how to look. I haven't really, d- other than changing my face as I've gotten older to just be older, I haven't tried to look like anything else. And, well, since I was a kid. I didn't know that being knocked unconscious in battle would uh mean that I would revert, so to speak. That's never been an issue until recent months, I guess.
that brings up an interesting out of game question. You have to be like quote unquote like knocked out, like killed in order to revert back to that form. Going to sleep, we've all been camping together. That obviously would have noticed if
Yeah,
you
I
had
shared a bed
gone
with
just
Thurston at one point.
Oh yeah, you did.
That would have been
Totally
weird.
did. I know.
That would have been a weird middle of the night wake up.
Good thing she sleeps like the dead.
I take another step closer to Thurston, and look him like square in the eyes,
Just invading all kinds
and
of personal space, these two.
Mhm.
and then just glance at Faraday for a moment, and then look back at Thurston and say, "Have you ever heard the name Novus?"
I was really tempted to do it. Novus,
I don't believe so. Is that a member of a noble house that I can't think of anyone in the noble houses that's named that? No.
Insight, if I could.
sure. Roll that instead.
That's okay. Do 19.
You're not picking up any vibes. Once again, that Thurston is lying.
Why are you guys being so weird and getting in Thurston's face?
That's
Uh,
because they're trying to see
I
what my face really looks like.
I ignore
That's-
Cad
Kind of a good point.
and then just look at Thurston and say, well, I think after saying you don't know who Novus is, well then I think you owe Faraday a thank you. And I take a step back and take a seat on the floor.
Just really confused, looks at Faraday, and is just gonna roll with it. Thank you.
I like that.
She just
Everyone knows just to roll with what Dermot says.
not enough energy to fight this right now. I mean, should I know that name? Is that someone we've encountered in our travels? And he kind of like looks
No.
at
Mm, not
everyone
that I
like, did I
remember.
forget something?
No, we haven't. And if everything goes well, we'll never have to.
Well, someone you've encountered?
Muted Sam.
No, I was whispering to my dog. Sorry. He's pouting. I can't see him.
Mm.
Not quite. I can see his butt.
Aw, look at that face.
His tongue sticking out, I think, is the best.
I love the fact that he has the derpiest face.
I know.
Guys, I want to play too.
Guys, can I be a barbarian?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And eat the dice.
No.
It's like the most compact barbarian ever.
Yeah.
Spencer is 8 million barbarians in a trench coat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not gonna break the scene. We will tell that story later.
Yeah, yeah, that is not something that we have encountered in our travels. Looking primarily at Cad and Arthea. And if the fates are with us, it's someone that we'll never have to. They're an old acquaintance of mine and Faraday's from back home.
And you thought that Thurston was, what, working for him?
Well, judging by the display that we saw, Novus is a being of particular import back home in the Feywild. Someone not above keeping tabs on their associates and looking back at Faraday, their former associates.
Never even been to the Feywild.
I believe
Well-
Dermot.
What's that?
I believe him.
I mean, Thurston's wearing one of these amulets too. He would be hiding from him as well. Are you saying that? What are you saying?
I'm saying,
Why are you so afraid of the fact that Thurston might be associated with somebody that you used to know? We all have secrets.
well,
Had.
when
Arthea, remember that first night out of the caves when it was you and me and Gladius?
Mhm.
You hear Gladius speak of the Just imagine anytime somebody says his name, he just goes like,
We all just look
"Huzzah!" Yeah. He says
You look
some
up,
like
you see
trigger
those
word.
two little spindly arms crossed over his mouth.
Did somebody say my name? You hear a voice from Ed's backpack.
Yeah.
Gladius has actually like gone out of the scabbard and left the room.
Yeah.
He's just like, nope, I don't want none of
Not
this.
just this. That story I
The
that
story you told.
Mhm.
It was you.
That was me.
And she'll kind of just look over to Dermot and him.
And him.
When your deep dark secrets involve an archfey with a grudge, even I learned caution. And if it were up to me, we'd have been halfway to Amont by now.
I don't know if I am complimented that you thought I could be a spy, or insulted that you thought I was a spy.
It's a wonderful middle ground you find yourself in.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm sorry, Thurston. We didn't.
I wasn't entirely prepared to take that chance.
And
I
what
mean-
type of what did you do to cause him the grudge? Is it because you left?
I wasn't supposed to leave. She looks at
Let's
Thurston.
just say I won his game. We won his game.
She looks at Thurston. Faraday looks at Thurston. You weren't the only one who was left behind. I was part of a deal to Novus as a child. And I was theirs. And then I wasn't. And they are not very happy about it.
Archfey don't typically like to lose.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds like I got the better end of our similar situation.
I guess so. I don't know. Running away, let us find you guys. And if you don't want that danger, I understand. We'll go find something somewhere. We'll go somewhere else. But it's something to keep in mind if we end up having to go to the Feywild. That Novus is a very powerful member of the court. They have eyes everywhere. And these, and she puts her hand on the amulet again, will only do so much.
Now Arthea is literally looking around like eyes. Like
Make
in
a
the
perception check.
room. Oh shit.
Make a perception check. Jules appears behind you.
So worried about Thurston, we
I
just
know.
missed the butler.
Literally
just
just
missed
turn
the
around like
butler.
this and he's just standing there. He's been there for like 5 minutes.
With a gun.
Perception check is Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson,
Yeah.
you look around.
No
Other
shame.
than a suspicious part of the wallpaper, they just, in the design, just there are two little splotches that look sort of like eyes. You don't see anything.
Yeah. Well, now she's just going to be thinking about that for the next like 10 minutes. Going to be periodically checking them to see if they move.
So we're still going to Amon tomorrow?
We're still going to Amon tomorrow. Is there anything else that's going to be chasing us that we should maybe know about before we leave?
My mother, if she finds out that you know. So perhaps best to
Yeah.
never speak of this again.
Oh, no. No, I mean, I would, take it out of my head if I could, but I can't do that. Yeah. Is that better or worse than an archfey with a grudge?
I don't know. Sabelina kind of scares me. Maybe a little more. than
Archfey
Novus.
probably live longer, though.
Mm.
If you put Sabelina Nallard in front of them.
I don't know who would win.
This is actually potentially a solution to this problem.
I can do that too, Joseph.
Can you do the other side?
Yes,
shit.
she can.
If you don't want to go back to the Feywild, I don't think there's any way that any of us would let them, whoever they are, so easily come back and take you.
I don't know if we're gonna have much of a choice if this whole. She kind of like waves her hand in that like overarching summary. If it doesn't pan out in Amon, that was kind of the next logical step.
If we have to go to Singorn, you mean?
Yes.
Well, let's hope that we don't have to, or that the elves aren't hiding in the Feywild at the moment.
But maybe going to Amon might help. Thurston. Get out of town for a little bit. Everybody was kind of drunk. There was a dragon! And, like, she says dragon, like, dragon!
Like Eddie Murphy and Mushu.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Dragon!
Yes, I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, besides while my priority is my family and making sure that they're taken care of, it's a bit difficult to do that if our plane of existence wipes out. So it's a matter of prioritizing.
Are you gonna tell your mom that you're going to Amon?
Or are we just gonna leave?
I think we've reached an understanding. Well, I think that there is enough trust built now, as long as she never finds out about tonight, that I will be able to knowingly leave and not have to sneak out. Ultimately, I think she's found better if she knows that I'm going to be gone for an extended period of time, so that she is not expecting my contribution to the various household tasks and business matters. She
That's
can
good.
rely more on my sisters then.
I didn't really want to have to sneak out of your house tomorrow.
Again,
think
you
it'll be
mean?
fine.
Oh, yeah. It's just we have a lot of problems, complications. Let's call them complications. We have a lot of complications right now. I feel like-
Cadriel is just sitting there, like, awkwardly trying to decide if she wants to say anything or not.
I don't want to add
Just sitting.
angry Lady Nallard to the list.
Unless she's an archfey, I doubt she can actually scry on us with these necklaces.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, Jules just like shows up. Literally just shows up. We've been trying to catch him for what, a month now?
It's like totally normal.
It's
Like, I
not,
don't-
I
though.
don't think it is.
How else is he supposed to do his job of being there when we need him if he can't be there when we need him?
But how does he know?
Well, I don't know how being a butler works.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know either.
I'm sure if you ask him, if you're that interested in learning the art of household management, I'm sure he would be happy to give you some lessons.
We never really did think to ask him.
Maybe tomorrow before we leave.
Anything else you guys want to do before you guys turn in for the night?
No.
All right.
I have an owl somewhere.
You do have an owl somewhere.
She's on your shoulder. Like, even as you're like, man, I really miss Stella. You turn and she's like staring at you while on your shoulder.
Okay, I have an owl here. That's good. It's just like, yeah, everything went to chaos. And she did not think about the owl aside from like the owl's not on me. So when this dragon is going to do things, it's not going to get eaten. Okay, that's good.
You have very short-lived familiar lifespan.
She gets back, yeah, and she's also thinking to herself, like, God, if I kill this thing, I'm gonna have to go back to Thurston's. I'm gonna have to go back to the backyard, get Jules to drag out that thing again. The whole yard's gonna smell like patchouli again. It's gonna be awful.
Right.
Good, it's coming with me.
You guys all return to your respective rooms. Eventually, sleep does take you. Thurston, high or low?
Oh
God.
Low.
You all awaken the following morning. Pardon me while I make the audio make sense with that statement. And almost as similar to almost every day in the last month, you smell the sweet smell of breakfast in the kitchen below.
We got a long rest. Enough time for a long rest, right?
Yes, you did. Yes.
I assume we're going to eat breakfast as well.
Yeah.
So I can clear my level of exhaustion.
Yeah,
So that,
you have a reason why we would skip breakfast?
Yeah, her name is Sabelina Noller.
I mean,
That was a Sam comment, not a Faraday
yeah, I
comment.
get that.
I mean, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that was a
still
Faraday comment.
Except she says that right as Thurston's mom is leaving her office. She's like,
Like there's a stop. Like there's like 1% of her
Mhm.
skirt that you see in the doorway just stop moving. It's like, oh no.
And she can't bamf. Faraday can't bamf away either because that's not what her face step does at the moment.
Oh,
I will say that you guys do manage to convene for breakfast. And Sabelina actually does join you, as does Gracia. And as everybody's relaxing and enjoying themselves, Sabelina turns to Thurston and says, actually, I was hoping that I may borrow you at some point this afternoon. Unfortunately, Mr. Chainhelm is continuing his business and would like to set up a meeting. If it's not intruding, that is.
well, we were hoping to actually be on our way today. If he's available, perhaps a little earlier, as much as one does not want to start the day with him, you could get it out of the way. If not, I'm sure Gracia will be happy to attend.
Gracie just kind of does one of these and then like leans forward with a smile on her face. Apparently, he's scheduled this meeting with the Wyndhams, Woodward, one of the Woodwards. Apparently, it's a joint noble house venture sort of thing. But I will bring Gracie with. It shouldn't be a problem.
I
As long as
appreciate your
she-
understanding.
As long as she minds her manners. Gracie's like, damn it.
If you'd like to keep him in mind, I'd be happy to attend with you.
You know, I was just thinking that we could send him a letter that says that Thurston is available this morning, or if the meeting must take place this afternoon, then we can all go, including Cadriel.
Zabelina laughs. I believe with Whitward and Gracia, I think that'll be enough. But I do
Which
appreciate
Woodward is
that.
this? Is this
Young
the
Elric.
younger?
Yes.
I ran into him this month.
Did you?
Seemed a bit, well, to be honest, a bit drunk.
Yes, I hear that he's not looked on well by his family, but still, he is of noble blood, and he is organized this meeting, so may as well build a bridge instead of burn one.
I lean over to Cad and whisper, "I'm sorry, I've done all I can for you."
And I laugh a little. And I look at Gracia because she was there that first day when I popped out my wings and just say, "Are you sure?" I did make him shit his pants.
Grace is like, Mother, it would be wonderful. Siglin says, no, there'll be no soiling of pants at this meeting, but I do appreciate the offer. It's all right. I'll have Jules communicate with you as you're out and about. I'm sure it will just be something dull, like planning a charity or we're building an orphanage or something boring like that.
I was able to translate part of one of the tomes we found in Turst Fields, and I don't think Emery's Chainhelm is up to anything good. He was referenced in a passage that had to deal with some not so above board things. Though, Lady Nollard, I respect that you would like to do your business alone, but please just don't trust anything that he is going to say.
My dear, it is not surprising that he would be mentioned in this tome as having some sort of connection to unsavory characters. I have not trusted a single word out of his bearded face in the entirety that I've known him. I will be fine.
Did read his journal once as well. If you really want to get him, just perhaps mention a very large bearded barbarian that has been around Turst Fields and that some people find handsome.
Sabelina kind of does one of these. Huh.
Something about him being blue.
Intriguing. I'm sure this will come up in conversation if things get dicey.
And I just, I turn my eyes black as if I'm about to pop out my wings, but I don't let them come out. And I kind of look at Gracie and I just like wink at her and then turn them back to normal.
She's in the middle of a cup of coffee and she spits a little bit and it goes. Well, Sabelina says, wherever you're going, be safe. She's looking right at Thurston. Keep us apprised of your situation.
I will.
And she looks at the rest of you. Don't forget what I said that first night we met. She takes a sip of her coffee.
You won't.
I doubt we could possibly forget if we wanted to.
You do know how to leave an impression, Mother.
Thank you very much. It's one of my defining traits, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
She says this as she takes her coffee cup and rises from the table. Well, come here. And she puts the coffee cup down. She holds her arms out. She looks a little weird doing this in front of like everybody, but
Turn down
Thurston
to my
goes for a
food.
hug.
I was like
She
really
hugs you
hoping
nice.
Dermot would hug her.
Alright,
Twist my arm. She hugs you nice and close and just says, "Please take care of yourself."
I will.
Right, well, and she fetches her coffee cup again. Safe travels. I'm off to go dress to meet the devil. She makes her way out of the dining room.
Not a very smart devil that she's meeting.
Which one?
Oh.
Fine. That's fine. Gracia says. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, he's a little shit when it's just him and Mom, but when other people are there, he's surprisingly well-mannered. Almost like he's trying to make up for lost ground or something.
Just remember the barbarian.
Trust me, I couldn't forget it if I wanted to.
I read his journal, neither can I.
Unfortunately.
You all finish your breakfast. What would you like to do?
Are we taking the cart to Amon?
I think we were gonna take the teleportation circle to Amon.
Oh, that's right.
It's too far.
I'm still a little delirium. Makes your head spin a little.
Eat. You need to
Is
you need to carve back up.
is Gracie still in the room?
She'll be like finishing her breakfast.
Never mind.
I eat and pocket some of the sausage.
You're gonna want to have that for today.
You know, Jules would be happy to wrap that for you.
Yes.
So it
is
doesn't-
actually really good at doing that in a way where it doesn't fall out of the wrap.
I'll just put it in the bag with the jerky that I have. It's fine.
I imagine your pocket gets be greasy.
No, I just put it in this bag here, and I like pull out my like giant bag of jerky.
Ew. Gross.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
That was a very judgmental O. Like,
Oh my
I mean,
very judgmental.
Jules, would you please wrap this for me if it would make you all feel better?
Yes, of course. And he appears right behind you and grabs
Ah.
the pieces of sausage.
God,
And he starts making his way towards the kitchen.
I'll take any extras if you have any.
Of course, darling.
Thank you.
He comes back with a picnic basket, but it's got fruits, veggies, it's got all the jerky, several more pieces of bacon, several pieces of sausage. It's even got a couple of eggs and pieces of bread. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
I have to drive the cart. This will be great.
Anything to assist.
Once Jules and Gracia leave,
Mhm.
Faraday will pull out the bag of coins and kind of slide them across the table to Thurston.
I'm not upset. Mostly curious.
It was the, and she kind of like looks like really looks to
Make a
see if
perception
any
check.
of them are around.
Can I like assist her by also
Like she knows
Sure,
Jules
yeah.
is around somewhere. She's mostly concerned about the others.
You can roll Sam with advantage because I'm
Okay.
also looking.
18.
18.
Yeah.
You know you hear Gracia walking up the stairs, presumably to get ready for this meeting. Jules, you know, left to go in the direction of the kitchen,
Okay.
but you don't hear or see anybody.
That
Means
was
nothing.
Yeah,
it means
right.
nothing around here. We thought we were worried about an archfey spying on us. This place is worse.
He's
Oh.
just
Still
simply
thinking about
one
an archfey spying
hell
on
of a
us.
butler.
My suspicion has only shifted back to Butler.
There'd be some extreme foresight to plant the butler from like 20 years ago.
Who knows?
That would be our takings from last night.
Oh. Okay.
Probably better if you hold on to it.
I see. I will add it to the rest of the joint account. He kind of opens it up to start counting it. How much moolah?
You guys get 300 gold. for victory.
Hey.
Nice.
Nice.
And actually, in the coin purse, you also do see a full opening it. You see a note from Grimthorn, giving the location of a bar in Iman, where the next fight is scheduled to be.
Hey.
Faraday, you might be on your own for that one.
Never.
I mean, it wouldn't be if we need the money.
I just think
You
that
say this to Thurston.
I know.
Maybe next time we don't escalate it.
yeah, I think that things. I'm still getting used to your spring
Don't
personality, and
don't escalate.
I
The
think
fight
that
didn't get interesting until we escalated.
no, we should have never been fighting a dragon last night.
Maybe you shouldn't have. Faraday kicked his ass.
Exactly. So if we're all doing this, then maybe we stick with what we all agreed to do. And then if you guys want to, take it another step, go ahead.
Without the rest of us.
Yes, I think that I would be more than happy to cheer you on from the sidelines and collect any bounty you receive in the future.
We'll cheer very loudly.
I think that's fair.
Did you have fun, Faraday?
I did. I had a lot of fun.
All right. So you guys gather your things. Is there anywhere you'd like to go in Western before making your way towards the glorious goods shop?
I have a small request.
Okay.
I'm not looking to spend a lot of money or get a lot of it, but I would like to visit maybe a carpenter or blacksmith or both. I'm
Mhm.
looking for essentially just like scraps of wood and scraps of metal.
I
Because
think the blacksmith seemed to have a lot of things like that when we went, right, Faraday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seemed
He
pretty.
was a nice man. He gave us
Yeah.
the iron that Arathea asked for free, so.
I'm essentially just looking for just like raw materials to practice my crafting.
I'll say that if you want, you can visit the blacksmith for this. We'll say you guys are. We'll say that the blacksmith is sort of on the way to Gilmore's, just because convenience. You approach. It is mid-morning, and yet you still hear the sound of hammer to anvil right around the corner. As you guys approach again, actually, for those who didn't see, you can see it's an outdoor forge with a small building that's sort of attached to it. And all along the sides of the forge, you see all manner of swords, hammers, weapons, spears, armor pieces, candelabra, basically just all sorts of items that this blacksmith has made. And Care actually turns as he's working on what looks to be a ring of some kind. He's making a ring himself. Oh, how can I help you?
I am looking for
Be right back.
nothing in particular. Just a bundle of scrap pieces of wood or metal. I'm honing my own skills. I'm just looking for some materials to work on the road.
Sure, yeah. And I forget, it was Faraday and
Ed.
Arthea.
Ed.
What last time? Cat.
Cat.
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. He turns and you see he actually goes similar to the same spot that you guys got the random bits of iron from. And you see that this pile has returned to the size that you had seen when you'd first approached him. And he takes a small like leather bag and just sort of scoops some haphazard bits of iron and metal into the bag and sort of ties it off. And then looks over at a sort of attached part to the forge where you can see there's some tools for fashioning the spear handles and sword handles and everything like that. And he picks up several pieces of uncrafted wood. So it's just bits of branches and there's a couple bits of tree trunk that he kind of sets in another bigger bag and ties that
Excellent.
off. He approaches and drops the 2 bags in front of you. Here you go. It's on the house. It's really just extra material I'm not going to use. So,
You're sure? That's very generous of you.
you know what I mean?
I can happily trade you some wares for your shop that you can sell.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you. It's very appreciated. Anybody who makes things, I appreciate. So, by all means, these are yours.
Well, I can't, in good conscience, I can't leave without at least showing you the kinds of things that I'm working on. And I
right.
pull out my music box and spin it and open it. And, with a few, clockwork looking gadgetry on the inside, gears and whatnot, it starts playing Fiona's theme song.
Huh. Makes my work look like crap, but that's
Oh.
pretty impressive. How did you get the small gears? Do you have magnifying glasses for goggles?
A bit of hammering and chiseling, a bit of magic.
Magic. Gotcha. Well, that's impressive. That's actually quite beautiful. Very well made.
Thank you. It is it was my first attempt, so I hope to be improving on the design.
I'm also trying to diversify a little bit. Maybe get into rings or something. I've only made one, but I'm having trouble making any more.
Well, then we are on our way out of town today, but I expect that we will return, and when we do, you and I will have to compare notes.
I like that idea. What's your name?
Dermot O'Ferry, and I hold out my hand. And you were
Carrick, and he grasps your hand with this mammoth human hand that like wraps around your forearm. Says, if you ever find yourself in town, by all means.
It is my pleasure.
He like starts to move back towards the forge and then like glances back at you, and then just goes. He like shakes his head and then goes back to the forge.
And I turn to leave.
Okay. He goes back and grabs another small piece of iron and starts heating it. But at this point, is there anything else that any of you guys would like to do?
Where's Iron? Irid?
Shit. Irid is totally with you guys.
That was my question. Are we parting ways?
Irid actually is like devoted to
Okay.
whatever you guys want her to do. So we'll say that you guys start making your way towards Gilmore's, and she's actually already outside the shop with her things. She's ready to go?
Was she there last night?
No, she was not.
Excellent.
Yeah, she wasn't.
Small blessings.
Yeah, Irid is standing outside of the shop, Sam, and just goes, all right, are we ready to go?
Anything else we need
That's
to do?
I think we're ready to go.
Okay.
All right. You all step inside Gilmore's Glorious Goods, and you can see a couple patrons that are sort of milling about, but you do see the half-elf woman behind the desk who sees you, clocks you, and then just sort of does a head tilt towards the back room. You guys make your way into the back and find that same teleportation circle. I assume you guys set to go to Amon.
I think it was.
I think it was already set
already.
to him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we determined it was set to Amon, and well, I'm not comfortable with rewriting his circle because that sounds like getting scattered into some kind of like neither space.
It sounds like the kind of problem that you have when the teleporter malfunctions on Star Trek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That does not sound
Absolutely.
like that is not an experiment that I wish to run right now at like 10 a.m.
I would like to not go to the Netherlands. Filler your dust. Like,
Oh no, I'm totally cool with that. Like if I end up as long as I'm all there and not scattered between. Would I know how it activates? Whether or not we just have to step in and it just kind of, or
I'd
if there's
say-
anything we need to do.
If I recall correctly, you rolled an obscenely awesome Arcana check when you looked at this last time. You know that if you step into the circle, it will activate and then teleport you.
Okay. Well, are we good?
I think so.
I
has
believe
a
so.
giant picnic basket from Jules.
Someone who is better with the talking to people maybe should go through first. I don't know where this is going to come out.
So all I have to do is touch it.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, gonna go, but he's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Step in it and you go.
I mean, we could go at the same time if you'd like, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see why we
Can we-
can't all go together.
Can we all fit in this thing?
Yeah, it's big enough that you can.
Is it a
fit all
large one?
yourselves.
All
It's a
right.
large one. Because Gilmore is anything if not fucking boisterous with his enchantments.
I love
I
it.
mean, in theory, this goes to his shop, but
I feel like the woman in the
And it
front
might.
would know if it did.
Gray Skull Keep or something.
I mean, it has coordinates, but that doesn't really help if you don't have a map to actually plot them. So,
I'm sure it'll be fine. Gladius, just be ready just in case, okay?
Understood, my darling. Always on guard, ready for the next battle.
let's hope that's not where
Pat
it's
him on the
taking
hill.
us.
Love him.
Hopefully not that. And I guess
The
I'll take a
two-
step in.
Okay. You step in.
Step
High
in
or
at the
low?
same-
Can I step in?
Arthea. High or low?
Oh God.
Fuck.
Hi.
Yes, that can. Arthea. You step into the circle, and you can feel that same familiar sort of shimmering around you as you kind of understand the basics of how teleportation circles work. And you feel like a rippling effect of your senses around you as you feel yourself being pulled. And knowing that this should end in a similar fashion, you can't help but notice that this rippling around you in this circle, and I'll say that this happens for everybody because fuck it, you guys are all seeing this. That the images that are sort of forming and then deforming around you in this circle are one of a broken landscape where the sky is roiling with these huge clouds. Lightning courses across the sky. But then it fades away again. And again, it's trying to focus on the coordinates. But then again, it shifts, and this time you're in a keep of a castle that must have been destroyed some decades ago. Rubble lining the floor before you. But then it shifts again until finally it does eventually settle. And you find yourself in a familiar back room. You see you see a box of rings of iron, silver, all sorts of things. You see a couple staves. You see some daggers, and basically like a bunch of excess stuff that's just kept in this room with a door, and you can hear conversation amongst several different people in the next room.
Is any of what we saw familiar? Or would any of it have been? Would there have been anything recognizable to, at least to Arthea?
If I'm correct, Arthea, you had a vision,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, she did.
The sky looked a little familiar.
Okay.
So we all stepped in at the same time, right? So we all saw all of
Yes, all of you saw all of that. Ired is clutching her dagger.
that. Would I recognize any of that from the multiple dreams that I've had?
You would have also recognized a couple of characteristics. Case in point, the roiling sky above and the completely broken and just wasteland that lay before you for that brief moment.
I grab Arthea's wrist, surprised at what we're seeing, and I just kind of like look at her, eyes a little bit wide.
Did everybody
Is something wrong with the
just
circle?
kind of looking around at everybody to make sure everybody's there?
Did you all?
Yeah, we're not missing anybody.
Ired's checking everywhere.
Counting fingers and toes.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
all of you?
That was
See.
weird.
Is that supposed to happen?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, but I think it's supposed to be instantaneous. Just kind of step in and step out. There's not usually an in between.
Pucho, can I look for any, like, just looking down, like, she's not, like, on hands and knees looking, but, like, looking at the teleportation circle that we're now on.
Oh, yeah.
Because I assume we've landed on one.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
there any,
Yes, you have.
like...
Probably should step out of it, actually.
As we step out of it, are there any, like, cracks, missing pieces, like, anything? She would know nothing about anything in terms of, like, the glyphs or anything like that, but, like, is there anything that would suggest a slight, not enough of a malfunction to make it so we couldn't eventually get here, but, like, kind of just skew the travel a little bit?
Make me an investigation check.
I also would like to spend a minute with this one and see if I can take some time to memorize it.
Okay.
Seven-
assuming that it actually goes back to Westrum.
Okay. Go ahead and
I
make
actually
me
don't know.
make me an Arcana check.
Who knows where it goes?
17.
17. You look at the markings on the floor, and there's nothing out of place or distressed, really. It's actually surprisingly well kept.
Okay. I mean, that's all she needs to know.
Sorry.
You're
We have
good.
to add on the fingers. 21.
21. With a 21, you can see that the teleportation circle is actually set for Whitestone. And with a 21, you successfully copy the design into your journal of the teleportation circle.
Okay. It's 4 circles. One of these days that'll be useful. Not yet.
So,
Later. We can maybe it has to do with what we learned back in Western.
But it was. Let's just go.
Later.
Yeah, I assume we're in. So we're in like a supply closet, essentially, right?
yes,
Like
you
the
are.
back storage room.
Yes, you are. Imagine like the
Um,
back room of Lint.
Oh god. It's
Yeah.
So cramped
so
in
a
here.
coat closet.
So we're like on top of each other. There's
I
no
know, a
real
little.
like
Excuse
We all-
me,
Use it
can you
up.
check
We
if you have any more peanut butter truffles?
I feel like we all just stepped out of this thing and there's like that sort of you're trying not to step on one another
Yeah.
as you inch your way toward the door.
Then you have to like hurry up because you could feel the arcane power of the teleportation circle starting up because there's still people on it.
No
Like,
one
go,
step
go,
on
go,
it.
go, go.
No one step on it.
could you imagine then you have to put
Meanwhile, we're
Whitestone
gonna
and then
pour
go
out of this
back.
back room, and these poor folks are just like,
Yeah.
Oh, Whitestone.
I move over to the door and I knock on the door 3 times before opening it.
Fuck that
You,
noise. The poor retail worker gets a knock from the fucking back room.
yeah, uh-huh.
Mhm.
It's haunted. Burn this place to the ground. I hate it anyway.
I quit.
Yeah.
I love
God,
it, I
that's
love
like
it.
when one of my bosses used to like push this beeper to tell me he had something in his outbox when he was on a call.
Oh yeah.
Did he want to get kicked in the nuts?
He also needed pencils and empty tissue boxes.
Yeah, he wouldn't throw the tissue box in the trash can next to the desk. He would leave it in the outbox for me.
So that it could be picked up.
As you Jesus Christ.
I love your expression.
As you walk through the door, you can see that unlike Western, which is mainly one sort of like medium-sized building, sort of like a small bookshop level, this is not that. You step into a 3-storied mammoth, almost like mall size, but like you step into like a Macy's version of Gilmore's, complete with a perfume person. But you step through and you can see that there are several different patrons that are meandering about and other associates helping them. But there's one ruddy-looking gnome that sort of looks in your direction and kind of, may I, may I?
I just step forward and hold out a hand to shake theirs. Good morning. It is morning here, isn't it?
Yes. She
Um,
tentatively shakes your hand.
we apologize for the intrusion. We had to get into the city in a hurry, and as friends of Gilmore's, we were allowed to use his teleportation circle.
Do you, All right. Did you have express permission from Mr. Gilmore?
Yes, we did.
Roll me a deception check.
Is anybody gonna back me up here?
Oh no,
He,
you've lost.
he and
Thurston, yeah,
yeah.
Thurston is looking like the most noble of nobles.
Yeah.
To say,
Totally important.
Hmm.
And
Not
at
a
this point,
behind him.
at this point, you've lost Faraday. She is gone into the store. Like,
I just say,
gone.
Gilmore and Marin are close friends of ours, and we've been working on some tasks and errands for them. So our travels found it necessary that we come to Amon, and Gilmore wanted to save us the several days' journey.
Dustin, did you roll with advantage?
I have not.
You should roll with advantage.
Okay, good.
Because Cat over here name dropping.
Well, I can't do much worse than the 3 I rolled on the first one, so let's see. The natural 20 will get me 27.
Hey!
Nice.
Yes.
Right. Mr. Gilmore sometimes forgets about these things. 1 second. And she actually turns and reaches into her like small like work bag that's on her waist, and she pulls out bracelets. These are actually means of identifying those who have been granted permission. Only a few people have really ever been able to use these. But yes, basically, this is just our means of identifying who is able to use the teleportation circles. I've never met any of you before. May I ask your names?
Dermot O'Ferry, at your service, and I tip my hat and give a bow. And in turn, this is Faraday, Thurston Nollard, Kedriel, and Arthea.
Wonderful to meet you. Miss Faraday, please don't touch that.
Oh shit.
Okay, she's fucking gone. Like a kid in a candy store.
You're like playing with a necklace that's got these really bright red gems.
Oh no!
Jesus.
No. She like runs up and like gingerly like.
Can I go over to Faraday and like loop my arm through hers and be like, thinking about getting a cloak. I need some more need to make it harder to hit me. You want to help me find one?
Yes, absolutely.
I actually like grab the edge of the cloak that I'm wearing. Say, Ked, you could just wear this. I'm actually not currently attuned to it.
I appreciate that, Dermot, but I think Faraday would prefer if you kept it on, and I think it's better that we maybe both have them because, well, your healing talents have come into handy more than once, and we need to keep
I'm not using it. It is serving me literally no purpose right now, and I take it off and hand it to him.
I kind of look at Faraday like, did you want to make him put it on?
She is trying to be nice and not just wrestle him to the ground and put it on. That would be some.
And then put a padlock on it.
Give her 2 months. Summer Faraday would absolutely do that. No, she'll just she'll take it. She'll take the cloak and just kind of hold on to it. And
In that
drag
case,
Cat off.
I just tell Faraday, you should keep that for him. I think he needs it as much as I do, if not more.
I think so too.
That said, if Gilmore's has a cloak of protection, I would like to get one of my own. Because as much as I appreciate Dermot giving me his, we know he is lay squish.
Still,
Not anymore.
not using the one I've got. Currently
The
providing
gnome.
no benefit to me.
The gnome, after returning the necklace of fireballs to their protective case that somehow Faraday was managed to open.
It just happened. She just did it.
Just popped
Yeah.
open.
It just popped open. I don't know.
She Fonzied it.
She leads you to essentially like a big closet. Well, no, like a big rack of just hung cloaks of all different shapes, sizes, colors, whatever. And she actually takes you to a half cloak. So it comes to just about your waist. It's of a deep blue with silver lining along the edge. It says, this, I believe, is what you're looking for. I'd offer some protections. That one. And she gestures towards the other cloak of protection. It's just more of a stylish choice. We are equipped to modify the look, if you would prefer. She kind of looks at Thurston, like dressed to the nines as a noble.
No, the colors are perfect. I'm a little more monochromatic than my friend there.
Understood. Would you like it changed to gray or black, or is this...
Black would be perfect.
Right? She takes it down from the rack using the mage hand cantrip, and she places it on a hook, and she mutters an incantation, and the deep blue slowly fades to a grayish black.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Now, as friends of Gilmore, there is a discount. So for the cloak of protection, it will be 3,000 gold pieces.
3,000. I look at Faraday. That's certainly not how much Dermot paid for it, was it?
I think so. But I know we traded some things too.
I appreciate your changing the color, but I think I'll stick with one we have for now. 3,000 is a little more than I would like to pay at the moment, that I can pay at the moment.
Inanna turns, and you could see she eyes a half-elf woman who's dealing with some of their customers, and she's got that bland, like, managerial customer service voice. Mr. Gilmore is sort of all right with minor bartering or negotiations. So
I do
if there's-
appreciate that, but unless you want to give it to me for less than 500 gold, I don't think that he would appreciate that much bartering.
Yes, I believe I would be fired if I did that.
I would not like to get you fired today, so.
Thank you.
And I apologize again if we scared you
No,
when
that's
we appeared on the
normal.
circle.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll keep it in the black just because you never know. You might come back. And she
Yes.
mage hands it up from the rack and then puts it back with the other cloaks.
Faraday, I'm gonna need that cloak in your bag.
She'll take it out and she'll kind of like drape it over your shoulders.
All fancy like it.
All fancy, yeah, yeah. So like a dramatic flourish.
You feel like like a glow about it, and then I just like,
I was wondering if you could. Where is we're looking for some information, I should say. Who in Amon is quite practiced in the magic arts that we might be able to speak to? I'm not familiar with the city, I apologize. Is there a district where your mages study?
yes, actually in the Cloudtop district. Oh my god, I'm totally terrible. I'm forgetting names of very important names, and my brain is not having it. It's not having it. Give me 2 seconds while I look at things. There we go.
You know,
There is in the Cloudtop district. There is the Ivory Tower. You could try to seek an audience with Arcanist Allura Vysorin, but I do believe with her position on the council, from what I heard, passing conversations with Mr. Gilmore, she's a little bit difficult to pin down.
have been speaking with somebody that you perhaps might know, or some of my colleagues have spoken with Eskel Rendarian, and
Oh, I'm
we
so
need
sorry.
some. Yes, I.
He was not that bad. He wasn't that terrible. I mean, I expected far worse.
He did give me this lovely dagger, but I think that she might. She might want to speak with us about some of the information that we have.
I suppose you could try and, I suppose, the old-fashioned way of knocking on the tower door. But I can't quite guarantee her presence there.
I think we have a way to contact her if we need. Could you tell me what she looks like so that I might know who I'm looking for once I get there?
Sure. She's about your height. Her blonde hair. She's got two, and she keeps them in two very pretty braids. And she wears this long blue, almost starlight cloak. Not too dissimilar actually from that. And she points to the silver trim of the cloak of protection that she just brought out. She is human. Yeah?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, she is human. And she, I've always been actually a real fan of her earrings. Can you, if you do speak with her, can you just find out where she gets those? Because they look beautiful.
Of course.
Thank you.
I kind of glance at Faraday. Would our little satyr like to send a message?
Yeah, I think so. We should probably go try and get a little closer.
I agree.
Maybe also find a place to stay.
Oh, yes, that's probably a good idea. Is there anywhere around here, an inn, perhaps, that we could drop our bags in?
There is actually a few buildings down. There is the Laughing Lamia Inn. It's actually a quite large place, 4 stories, so it houses a lot of people. But that might probably be the best bet if you're looking for something close by.
Check it out.
Well, shall we be on our way? I've still got like my arm looped in Faraday's, like friendly, like, but also so she can't
Like-
wander off. And I just kind of like give the gnome a little grin and just kind of go.
Little
Picture
leash.
As you walk away, Arathea, again with your passive perception being a million, you do hear the gnome murmur under her breath, "Oh, they look like such a cute couple," and then she continues her work.
She literally laughs. Just can't hold it in.
Right. You find yourselves in an unfamiliar city. You step out onto the road and find that this place is just as, if not a little bit more fancily decorated than Western. There are several guards sort of patrolling the roads, people everywhere. And I think that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Hey.
Because Cujo has to remember all of the shit that's in Iman and have his notes ready to go.
Good
As
time.
awesome as this fandom page is, kind of want to look at the book.
Yeah.
Make sure I've got the good.
For
But
sure.
How many words can a sending be? 24,
25.
25.
25. You gonna work on your message?
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
We'll describe Allura to Dermot so he can
Send over. to
send
her.
over. Yeah.
Every time you say that, it's gonna freak me out.
I know.
Been using that nickname longer than that Mercer's had that fucking campaign going. You stole my name.
True.
Very
But hers
true.
has 2 L's, yours has 1.
It doesn't, which means I'm gonna spell it wrong every time. I have to put it in my notes.
I just got used to not calling you that. So like
Yep. Oh God.
Yep.
just saying.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, to everybody who tuned in, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. Be nice to each other, and we will
Mhm.
see you next week for
Yay!
Decisions and Dragons.
Bye, friends.
Two.
Bye.
Yay.